Hello and welcome. It's time to hear what's on my mind on this episode of the Trisha's 2 Cents podcast. I'm your host, Trisha. Have you ever listened to coworkers talk and you just sit quietly in the background while you're working but listening? Well, this is what happened to me last week, and I was listening to a couple coworkers talk about what the new administration in the United States is planning on doing about minimum wage. And one lady was like, well, he said he's going to do this, raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour. And she was going on complaining about how that was going to affect people who have been making close to that, and it took them a while to get there. And how it wasn't fair to the people who have been at that $15, and it took them a while to get there, like I said, and someone just coming in can make that. And I understand how that is frustrating to those who have had to work to that $15. But my frustration is, why are you upset with people who are trying to help poverty? Maybe change your level of upsetness. That's not a word. But maybe change your anger or your frustration, I should say, to those who are only nickeling and diming people. Your frustration should be with those who are at the top that aren't giving people what they're worth. Does that make sense? In other words, maybe it's the CEOs that we should be focusing on, not the ones who are trying to do something about the poverty, those who are raising the minimum wage, but maybe the CEOs, the ones who are making the bonuses. They are making a lot of money a year, but still getting bonuses, but it's not trickling down to the people on the lower level. So the people on the lower level are not making the money, and so they're making the minimum wage, or they're making that maybe $15 an hour, but that took them 20 years to get there. Does that make sense? So I was a little like, I didn't say anything, but I was just listening in the background like, okay, but why are you upset with the people that are trying to raise it? Because $7.50 an hour, which I think is the minimum wage, it might be $7.25, I'm not sure, but people can't live off of that. So are we frustrated with those who are trying to raise it to get people out of poverty? Or should we be upset with those who are in a position to make everyone rise up, make everyone's check rise up? Okay, so someone coming in, and if minimum wage goes up to $15 an hour, everybody should be able to go up. Those who are making $15 an hour, maybe they should be making 20 something an hour. But it should come from the corporations that are making all of this money. If you pay attention to the financial reports, and it's readily available on the internet, everything is at our disposal. We can look at financial reports every year of these companies, and they're making profit after profit after profit every year, but it's not trickling down to the employees that are, especially the ones that are faithful to the company. So that's all. Sometimes we get frustrated with the wrong people, and instead of putting blame where blame belongs, why are we frustrated with those that are trying to make a change? Also, we shouldn't be frustrated with those who are on the receiving end of the $15 an hour. Like that worker that's going to be coming in making the minimum wage of $15 an hour. It's not their fault. They're just trying to make it just like everybody else. Everyone's trying to just live in this world. You know, it's hard. I mean, I'm a type of person that believes in sharing the wealth. I'm not greedy. I just want everyone to have an opportunity to live a happy, healthy life. I don't believe anyone should be hungry. And I think everyone needs an equal opportunity. That's how I see it. And then I also understand that small businesses will have a hard time with the $15 an hour. They say they can't afford it. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about big companies that can clearly afford the $15 an hour. For example, I know Target is doing it. There's a lot of companies that are already doing it. But there's a way to make anything work. We do anything we want to do. Companies do anything they want to do if it's for their benefit. But do they make that same sacrifice when it's for the benefit of their workers? You know, do we make that same sacrifice for other people if it doesn't benefit us? When we do something that doesn't benefit us, do we make that same sacrifice? Right? And I think it comes down to, do we really want to help each other? Do we really want to get rid of homelessness, poverty, people, food banks, people begging for money? Do we really want to get rid of that as a society? Or are we just wanting more and more for ourselves and not trying to find solutions for others as well? That's just my 2 cents on it. Yes, it might have taken me a while to get to where I am, but what I do has nothing to do with someone else. And if they can get a piece of the pie too, so be it. It does not stop my blessing. Me seeing someone else being blessed does not stop my blessing. Actually, I am happy that they're being blessed. I'm happy that someone can eat. They don't have to choose between eating or rent or buying this for their child versus I want everyone to be successful. And what I mean by successful is to be healthy, whole. And I hope that's the way everyone feels. But of course, I only know how I feel. And that's my thoughts for today and at this moment. Okay? Like I said, I don't always voice my opinion while I'm working because I'm there to work, and I don't want to get into politics or policies and all that while I'm working because I don't have time. So you're my soapbox, and but I just want everyone to be blessed in whatever capacity it comes. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Trisha's 2 Cents podcast. Join me on the next episode as I give life lessons through my experience, my growth, and always from my heart. Make sure you subscribe on your favorite listening platform.